I also got to talk about Trump. And this is important. Trump today, he has been doing so much better since they got rid of Brad Parscale. Since I fired Brad Parscale, I was on Ben Shapiro's show and I told Kellyanne Conway, you ought to fire Brad Parscale. A day later, he was gone. So that was me. But the minute they fired him, the campaign turned around. Suddenly, Trump sounded serious about the Chinese flu. Suddenly, he took action against the violence in the cities. He has been really good. He's been out there campaigning, doing the kind of campaigning only a president can do. And then one of the things I told Kellyanne Conway, put somebody in there to check his tweets. Just one layer. So today he says, with universal mail-in voting, not absentee voting, which is good, 2020 will be the most inaccurate and fraudulent election in history. It will be a great embarrassment to the USA. Delay the election until people can properly, securely, and safely vote? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Now, I know that's Trump trolling, and he is a funny troll. But, this is a serious thing that's going on in conservative circles. Yeah, and last night, I had a bunch of guys over and we were smoking cigars and debating, especially younger conservatives. Old conservatives like me feel that this country is always worth fighting for. And if we lose it, on my birthday, my son Spencer was, no relation, was tweeted me a happy birthday wishes and called me the Cato of the American Republic, which is kind of a dig because Cato died fighting for the Republic, even as it collapsed. And other people sort of said, no, the Republic, the empire is here. We're going to go with the empire. And I've always said, if our republic sinks into the tar pit of leftism, the last thing you're going to see is my fist. But there's a lot of people on the right saying, the empire of Rome, when it started, was actually more free, and this is true, it was more free and better run than the failing republic. The failing republic was violent. There were civil wars. There were moments of tyranny with Sulla and Julius Caesar. And when finally the republic expired and died, Augustus came in, and he never called himself the emperor. It was always, it's just like what would happen here, by the way. It's not that we would have a king. It would be more like FDR. Just the guy would keep getting elected. The Senate would still meet, but it wouldn't really do anything. So that's what Augustus did. He called himself the princeps, the first citizen, and he basically got rid of the republic and he dismantled the republic. But he did it in such a way that people were more free. I mean, the tax rates were lower. You could move around. You could become a success. You could move within social ranges. You could accomplish the Roman dream, as it were. You couldn't insult the emperor or you'd be put to death. And right after Augustus, there was Tiberius, and then the whole line of those emperors who just got worse and worse and crazier and crazier. And that is always the problem with kingships. If you get a good king, great. But if you don't, you got to kill him to move on, which is eventually how Rome and England, when they had kings, is basically how they solved their problems. Elections are better, more peaceful. But the question is, some young conservatives are saying we have to rejigger the whole thing because our democracy is essentially gone. Our institutions are empty. I agree with that. Our institutions have been emptied out. Our press is corrupt. It's not a press. We don't have journalists in this country. Very few real journalists in this country. The legislature doesn't make law. The Supreme Court does make law. And it really is a problem. And then you have this deep state with all these regulations where basically the EPA can come in and say your bathtub is a public waterway and you can only bathe at 4:00 on a Thursday. They can do that. And then to appeal that, you can't go to anywhere. You have to go to the EPA and appeal it to the EPA. And these are things that really make it feel like we have lost control, like this country is no longer run by the people. And a lot of people on the right are saying, well, what do? Do we fight to get the republic back? Or do we just say, okay, well, let's get a good emperor in there. Let's play the game the way the left plays it. The left is going to get rid of the filibuster. Let's us get rid of the filibuster. They're going to stack the court. Let's us stack the court first. Let's do what they do and lie and cheat and steal. And it's always the problem. We are the good guys. The right are the good guys. Even the left know we're the good guys. They know they can get away with lying and cheating because they know we won't do it back. In the exact same way, the Islamists know they can hide in a children's hospital because we won't bomb the hospital. And the left knows we're the good guys. They know we will not play by their rules. So, I hold on to hope that we can redo our society, that we can basically maybe put some changes in the Constitution. It was there to be changed, but also bring the society back through the culture. And it is the one thing that the right never wants to do. It's always an emergency. It's always a panic. It's always the next election. We're always in the Flight 95 election or 93, whatever it is, election. If we don't grab the plane and crash it, we're all going to die. And if we had a little bit of calm, a little bit of patience, we could do just what the left did, which is take back the culture and change people's minds and bring them back both to faith and to freedom, because you're not going to have one without the other.